Hey guys, ILene Vick here for Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. It is, it is Friday, August 6th at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and I am live. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Friday, everybody. Good to see everybody. We've been having a lot of fun lately. Well, we always have fun, but you know what I mean. So welcome to my Facebook peeps who pop in and chat during my live broadcast. I'm here for the next 3 hours. And welcome to my lurkers who watch, who lurk and watch, don't necessarily chat, but that's okay too. And welcome, welcome, welcome to my YouTube viewers. So good to see everybody. Okay. Hello, Ashley. So Ashley, if you'll go ahead and say something so that I know that I'm seeing comments, that would be great. We always have to check in the beginning to make sure that people can say something. Who knows, Facebook gets really wonky. As you can see, I've got some projects here that are ready to go. So when you drop in the room, if you would say hello right away. Oh, there we go. Now I can see you, Ash. Hello, Mary. So good to see everybody. Okay, good. Alrighty. So I've been working on my scarecrow. And as you guys know, this is from my Adorable Animals Grayscale coloring book. Love this book. Jane Madej. Very, very generous book. 50 images. Oh wait, I don't know how many images. Excuse me, I'm thinking of Dawn. Ashley says her Christmas floral is on the way. Yay. Just a cute little book. I've also listed the book in the main group on the affiliate list if you're interested in it. And the really neat thing too about this book, oh, Mary's got hers on the way. Wow, all right. Full color images, guys. So you can always look at this gallery to get ideas. I love it. Hello, Rhonda. Oh, I just want to do them all. Okay. Let me grab a little water. Getting a little thirsty. I'm sorry, Mary, two of whose books? Jessica's books? Or Jane Madej? Okay, so I got this today. I'm going to go through it so you can see. Just a nice little quick flip through here. Beautiful, beautiful book here. Hello, Linda. Linda Herschenroder. Okay, so this is from Sandy DiSanto. So Sandy, thank you. When she pops in the room, I'll have to thank her again. Love it. Okay, so I will be coloring out of this book next week. It's a Dover book. Well, Creative Haven. And there's some I'll tell you what I like about this book. The book is not overly illustrated. And it leaves us lots of room to do really neat things with, and the printing is very clear. And also it's got perforated pages, so you'll like that as well. And again, I do have this I posted it in the main group. And it's on our affiliate listing as well. I mean, look at this, guys. It's absolutely gorgeous. Lots of fun things to be able to do with it. I think this book has a really, really nice balance in it by what's in each illustration. And look at this stuff in these jars. Isn't that neat? So that'll give us a chance to do between light and dark. And what I wanted to show you too, if you take a look at this, you can see the light. This is drawn lighter, this is drawn darker. And that gives you the cue, the visual cue, to color it the same way. So it's pretty nifty. Hello, Lori. Yes, it does look like a lot of fun. I mean, you could put little scuff marks on the skate. Well, maybe not, because they're supposed to be new. Let me think this through. I just really like it. I can't explain why. Look at all the candy canes on the bottom. Oh, we could have fun with that. So again, I'm just doing an impromptu flip through so you guys can see it. It's now in our library. Oh, that brings back memories for me. And look at this, the wood Christmas tree, a wooden Christmas tree, and then the greenery in front of it. Hi, Marianne. Oh, Angela says, hi, I want this book, but my card was compromised and canceled. I have to wait for a new card. Love this. Yeah, and it's $2.89 on Amazon, and then at checkout they take off 45 cents from it. So it becomes what, $2.44 for it. Pretty nifty book, guys. And Sandy DiSanto happened to tell me about it. And I asked her if she wouldn't mind picking it up for the group, and she did, so she sent it to me. And by the way, guys, if you're ever thinking about getting something for the group, I've got a wish list. But also, if there's something else, please check with me first to see if we have it. Isn't this beautiful? Oh, look at the heart. Love it, love it, love it. I'm able to buy most of the stuff I need for the group, but you know, I've got a budget too, so I appreciate you guys, for those of you who have gifted the group. If you want to send $1 through Amazon for an Amazon gift card, you can send it to Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. So it's the group name at charter.net. Oh, look at this. Oh, love it. Beautiful, beautiful pictures, guys. So again, I'm just flipping through it really quick. This bag would be pretty to color and make it look like kind of like foil. So it's all the traditional stuff. And again, oh, and I love this. So what I would do is I would sketch on, you know, draw on just some wood lines on here on the birdhouse for you. Work on some shading here on the top. Beautiful little book. Da, da, da. So there you go. That's the end of it. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Oh, just gorgeous. I must have missed this. That's got to be in the book. Did I miss it? Oh, there it is. Isn't that pretty? So there's the line art. And then there's the colored part. Now, zoom in. Zoom in. Somebody tell me how this could be done better. We've been talking a lot about this. Zoom in. Throw me some suggestions on how this could be done better. Depth in the flowers. Exactly. I won't repeat what Lori said. Darn it, ILene, I just ordered this. Yeah, we've got shading and depth, and we don't have different colors of pink, right? It looks what? Flat. F-L-A-T, flat. We can do a lot better on this. Angela, the reason your gel pen turns pink on some colors is because the color from the pencil comes through on the ink. That happens. So what you need to do is let it dry and then go back with your white gel pen and then just tap it on. Don't drag it, but tap it back on. That happens. That's not a problem. Zoom out. So I'm glad to hear those answers from you. That tells me you're listening. Zoom out. And if you look at the grayscale that we're doing, Yeah, a few of the a few of the flowers look flat. You're welcome, Angela. That's normal. Don't have a heart attack over it. Right? This is the one that I'm doing in grayscale for you. Look at the apple with all the shades of color on it. The glove. So from here on out, guys, when you're coloring line art, think grayscale. And your stuff is going to end up looking a lot better. All right, let me see why I got that. So when Sandra comes in here, I'll be thanking her, Sandy DiSanto. Zoom out. I'm so appreciative, I'll tell you guys. All right, you guys ready to work on a little grayscale? La da da. Let me adjust my light. Yeah, Creative Haven books are wonderful. Okay, let's play with some corn here. Oh, Linda says she can't forget about my apples. Thank you. You know, I love them. And every once in a while I'll pop out something like that and I'll even pat myself on the back. Hey, why not, you know? And I want you guys to practice on apples, please. And when you practice, please post them. Listen, guys, I know that this is a little unusual because you're not used to being necessarily in a teaching group, but it helps me when you post your colorings. It lets me see how you're doing and where I need to help with the teaching with it. Lori says she just got her Black Widows today. I love my prismas, but I must say I'm impressed with their smoothness. Perfect. Dorothy says, hi, ILene and everyone. How do I post? Okay, in Facebook, there's that little camera icon at the bottom of the page. You click on that. It'll connect to your pictures on your smartphone. You select the picture and then say okay, and then that will post your picture. So it's in Facebook, Dorothy. And what you need to do is just scroll up to the top. And Creative Haven books are great for watercolor. That's right. You just have to scroll up to the very top, Dorothy, of the group, and it'll say post. I can't remember. I think it says post your thoughts here or something of that nature. Will somebody do me a favor and help Dorothy walk her through it? Okay, zoom in. Zoom in. Zoom in. Hi, Helen. Did I get a notification from you? Can't look at the moment, but I will check. Did you send me a message? Helen, were you here the day that I showed all your books when Dawn was here as my guest artist? Okay, so I'm working on my lightest areas here. Helen, I'll have to look after the broadcast. So this is my lightest green. La, da, da, da. Is this something fun, Helen? Oh, you've given to the group. Oh. Listen, guys, I gotta tell you something. Helen has been such a supporter of this group. Helen, were you here when I showed all your books? And she periodically will give us financial support to purchase things that we need. And I am so appreciative, guys. Part of the reason that we have the nice things we do is because of Helen. Thank you, Helen. You're a doll. It's the same as before, sweetie. It's Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick at charter.net. You might want to check that real quick, sweetie, and make sure. Angela says, oh, ILene Vick at charter.net. Okay. Helen, Deb McDonald thinks highly of you and showed us your theory about doing gems. Oh, wonderful. Yeah, Helen, I changed the email address on my Amazon account because so many people gift the group. So it needs to go to Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick at charter.net. Ashley says, I think you'd really enjoy the book A Colorless Kingdom by Chris Ortega. Huh. So Helen, you did the right thing, but you just didn't know that I had changed the receiving email. All right, so I've got my dark, my light, and now my medium. Helen, you're the best. Zoom in. Helen, you'll probably get a notice that it didn't go through. Oh, Ashley said I should be able to go to the outbox and change the address or forward it. Okay. I didn't know that there was an outbox. Yay, I'm excited, Helen. Thank you. Oh, okay. So Helen, Ashley said on Helen's end, on the sent folder, change the address. Ashley, would you text Helen and show her how to do that, please? Like maybe right now, if you don't mind. Is that okay, Ash? All right, guys, see how beautifully now the stalk is coming out with the different colors. So I've got the light, the dark, and now I'm going to go with the medium. Helen, it's teaching adults. Here, let me do this. Hold on. Zoom out. Okay, there we go. Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick, in other words, the group name, at charter, CHARTER.net. No, you don't need the capital letters. I just put that on there to make it clear for everybody. You can type it that way if you want. And yes, Rhonda, I will take your suggestion and let people know. Thank you so much, peeps. You guys are the best for supporting the group. All right. So now I'm going to move on to the corn. Ashley, would you help Helen with that, please? Okay, so here are the light colors here. Now remember, if you want to add a little bit of dark of your own, Don't forget to turn your pencil. Keep the point sharp. And also notice now that we've got the little wispies on the corn cob. And now I'm going to go back with my medium color. Oops, got a little bit of dark here. And now I'm going to come in with my medium color. And get all of that blended together. Oh no, don't you give up. Woohoo, Helen. Okay, isn't that beautiful? Okay, I sure will, Helen. Okay, now I want to make a point here. Of course, I'm always making a point when I'm showing you guys stuff. So I'm putting a little bit of shadow here at the tip of this bottom leaf of the corn. And then what I'm going to do, in order to make sure that we have that distinguished, I'm going to go ahead and run that shadow down the other side. So this is where that you have to use your own judgment when you run into a situation like this, where it's going to be a little bit different than what the author put in the grayscale. Don't be afraid to do that. And this is what I was saying yesterday, and I'm sure that if Wanda were here, she would say the same thing. That she makes adjustments all the time. And then I'm just going to blend that darker part in. Zoom out. Okay, now. Oh, Rhonda says I really enjoyed your YouTube tutorial on coloring with wet eyeshadows. I learned a lot. Yes, I just posted that for you guys. Hey, you guys know that I'm showing you new stuff all the time. I'm driving you crazy. All right. Thank you, Rhonda, for the comment. Zoom in. Now I'm going to add a little bit of yellow and gold up at the top of this particular piece of corn. So here's my yellow. Yeah, Rhonda, tell Angela about it, will you? Okay, now watch. I'm going to put a little bit of gold on top of the yellow. Everybody see that? So in other words, the yellow is dampening down me putting pure gold, a pure gold color on this. Zoom in. Let's see if I can show this up to you super close. And then what I'm going to do is take my yellow on my little stringies. I'm going to brush it with my brush. Now watch this. I'm going to take my gold and I'm going to tip the yellow and just some of the bends. I'm going to put that gold on there. And see, now you guys know why I love my brush, is to get off all that junk that might break off of the pencil. And again, it looks really wonky close up, but I do this for a reason, so you can see what the heck I'm doing. Zoom out. Zoom out. Oh man, doesn't that look cool? Mary Ann says she uses a makeup brush. I do need to tell you, Rhonda, though, that my previous ones from last year are shorter than my current ones, because my current ones are actually this broadcast. Look how cool that looks at the top of that corn. So there you go. And for those of you wondering, this is a drafting brush. It's got the slightly stiffer bristles. I really like it. Okay, anybody have any questions so far? Throw them at me. So here's my light green. Zoom in. Now here's a really good example of gray that, I mean, it really looks like it's one color here and one shade. So this is where I encourage you. Yeah, it's a drafting brush. You know, a draftsman that draws. I have an engineering degree and I used to work as a draftsman years ago. And it's called the drafting brush. So this darker part of the green is a little hard to distinguish. That may be an antiquated term now, Angela. So I'm going ahead and I am adding my darker color where I feel that we'd have a little bit of shading here. Amazon, and it is also on the affiliate list. In fact, it's one of the items that I've got a little heart by to tell you that it's one of those ones that I feel are important. So this is my dark color, and now I'm going to go in with my medium color and blend all of that in. Watch this. Isn't that beautiful? So yes, it's the darker underside of the leaf, but it's got shadow on it, showing the different values. That's why I didn't make it all dark. Everybody clear on that? And again, this is where you need to start using what I'm teaching you and making your pieces better for it. Oh man, look at that now. Zoom out. There you go. And guys, you've got to get rid of your streaks on your pieces. You've got to blend them in, even if they're not grayscale. Okay, zoom in. Zoom in. Aha, zoom in. Zoom in. So I've got a little bit of dark on here. And then I'll go with my medium color. And see guys, this is where your medium color, it should be dawning on you, is being used as a blender. Now, if you have a couple of areas here that are indicated, oop, wrong pencil, grabbed it, that are indicating that it's a little bit lighter because this is your lightest shade that you used, is sometimes I will take my white Prismacolor and I'll go ahead and I'll go over that very, very lightly. I mean, just hardly touch. Because you don't want that streaking. And notice how on my grayscale, I tend to use my finger to blend this. That's because you want to smush your colors together, but you don't want to do it so much that they become murky. Okay? Everybody understand that difference? Oh, I love that little tassel at the top. That's right, the white adds the nice little glow. Helen likes to add like a little bit of yellow, which you can do as well. Zoom out. Zoom out. Look at that. And you could take your white and also run it across your lightest color if you like. But again, just be sure that you blend your colors together. That's going to be your biggie thing. Okay, let's move over. Zoom in. And I missed a little bit of my green by my bird. So there's my light, and that happens to be a dark right there. And then my medium color, I'm going to use just to blend it together. And that is really starting to stand out beautifully. So guys, what I want to know as I'm doing this, I'm going to do this hay in a minute, and I'm still going to do a lot more with the face. The face, I just put my initial color on, so you ought to know that by now. Okay. So what I want to know from you is, as I've been doing this for you and been doing the grayscale, has this opened up your eyes about how to color your line art? Oh, the leaf twisting, yeah, it looks phenomenal, Helen. because you guys know that I'm telling you that when you color your line art, color it like you're coloring grayscale. It has your 3 values on it. So there's my light. Zoom in. Zoom in. If you take to heart what I'm telling you about grayscale and how it'll help you with your line art, you need to start thinking about your subtle shades. That was my dark, now my medium. I gotta tell you, I feel sorry for people that are afraid of grayscale, because it is such a fertile method and way to learn how to do conventional line art coloring. So when you're coloring a line art piece, I want you to look at that and say, how would this be put together with grayscale? Rita from Santa Fe, New Mexico. Okay, now I want you to notice too that I'm putting in a little twisty here, just to make that leaf look more plant-like. See, just put that in there. Rita from Guatemala in her. I'm just going to start saying Rita from Guatemala. Okay, so there's my dark. Sandy. All right, here's the lady of the hour. Zoom out. Zoom out. Zoom out. You better believe it. And I did a page through of it. So I've got it dated and everything. Zoom in. Isn't that cool? And everybody's in love with the book, so people are ordering it now. Hey, $2 and change, why not? Okay, so there's my light and there's my dark. Oh man, is that pretty? Zoom in. Helen, I'll have to double check after the broadcast. because if I check my email, that's going to kick everybody off. And I will let you know as soon as possible either way. Thank you so much. Helen is our patron of the group. She's been very, very generous. Sandy, check with Wanda. She's got holders that she's purchasing for her new Brett Funners. Oh man, guys, look at this. Okay, sweetie. Helen, thank you so much. Now, you still didn't answer my question. Did you see that night that I showed all your books when Dawn was here? I showed special effects 1 through 4 and your sketchbook. Hopefully you were still online at the time. And I showed all the covers. Did you see that? Zoom out. Oh yeah, Helen, I promote you when I can. I'm glad to do it. Oh, I just noticed a little spot here that I didn't do the shirt. They're colorist special effects by Helen Elliston, books 1 through 4. And then the other book was Sketch and Shade by Helen Elliston. So colorist special effects. Helen, would you please contact Sandy directly so she can get a hold of your books? Okay, zoom out. Zoom out. Look at that. Now, the one thing about these corn leaves is you don't want to get really super streaky about them. So if you need to blend them a little bit more just to get them to look a little more quote-unquote realistic, that's fine. That's where you need to use your judgment on these. Oh man, guys, I love how this is turning out. Miss Helen, good night. Good night, Helen. Good night, Helen. Good night, Helen. So glad you were with us tonight. What time is it in the UK?
In London, England, it's 2:01 a.m.
2 in the morning where Helen is. And she still comes on to see us almost every night. Okay. Zoom in. Zoom in. All right, so we've got got some really great light, medium, and dark on this leaf here. So we'll be able to see this beautifully. And again, it's all relative. They're light, medium, and dark relative to each other. Keep that in mind. And this, by the way, is how Wanda says she likes to do her coloring, is to do the light part first on the grayscale. Then the dark, then the medium. So I've been using that method as well. And I must say, I really like it. So there's the light. Let's get the dark done, which is right next to this. Now, notice I'm not making a harsh line with it. I'm still blending it a little bit. Again, pretend you're coloring line art. You wouldn't just be drawing a streaky line on there, right? And now I'm going to do my medium. Everybody see how that's coming together? I'm going right over my dark color with my medium pencil, and that's softening that line. Questions, comments? And as Ruth Sanderson will also tell you, it's all about layering. And as you can see, as I'm getting these other colors in here, this dark portion on either side of that center of that leaf is making that pop beautifully. Zoom out. Okay, now it's looking pretty streaky. So I'm going to take my light and extend this a little bit just to soften that out. And I'm going to show you on this one side so you can see the difference. Oh, Ashley's back. Everybody see how I'm fixing this right-hand side to be more quote-unquote realistic? And I'm blending this in. Blend, 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 guys. I think what's happening with some of you is you're afraid to blend over your previous colors that you lay down because you think they're going to go away. They don't. All right. Everybody see the difference now between this side and this side? Even though on this side I followed what the artist had put in. Zoom in. You see it? And I'm even going to take a little bit of white and just hit it a little bit right there. Look at that. How that popped up. Rhonda, does this make sense to you? So if you have to fix an area and go a little bit off of what the artist has put down as far as coloring, do it. Anybody else have any questions about that's watching? Okay, and then I'm going to, let's see, we don't need to put too much white. I'm going to put a little white on this edge, I think. We'll pop that up. There we go. Because that was a light one anyway. Zoom out. Ashia, hello. Zoom out. Where have you been, girl? Zoom out. Zoom out. Doggone it, young lady. We haven't seen you for a while. Okay. We are on a roll. Zoom in. There we go. Little bloopy there. Zoom in. All right, let me adjust my camera a moment. So the main thing that I want you to understand when you're doing something like this, when your grayscale calls for a dark area, I don't want you just to jam a single dark line in there. All it means is you're going to color that area. If this were line art, you wouldn't be jamming that color in there, would you be? So there's my dark. Here's my light. And then here's my medium. You guys are awfully quiet tonight. Zoom in. zoom in. I'm in major teach mode tonight. And see, I'm running my medium over everything, guys. No harsh lines. Coloring and listening, says Ashley. Rhonda says she's watching because she's so tired. That works. I just want to make sure that you guys are getting the points that I'm trying to make here. Okay, I'm softening that dark. No wire hangers. So that it looks natural. Angela says, following with another print of it. Rhonda says, I'm learning, and thanks to you, not alone. Yeah, you're not alone. None of you are alone for being here. All right, let's do another piece of corn. I love doing the corn. I think that's fun. Isn't it funny how you get hung up on like little things that you really enjoy doing? Okay. So here are my light colors. See, a lot of times when people do grayscale, they get really concerned about keeping the colors within the lines of where they're doing their light, medium, and dark. Now, you should be, but you can't be paranoid about it. You've got to have that freedom of flow of your pencil. So that's where you've got to pretend that you're coloring line art. So let's pretend this is a line art cob. So there are my light spots. Here's my dark, which is my edge. I'm not drilling my pencil into the dark spots because remember, you've got to ultimately be blending your colors. And now I'm going to put my medium in, which becomes my blender pencil, right? Going to go right over my dark to soften it, not obliterate it, but soften it. Oh man, look how that looks like corn. Isn't that neat? Have a couple dark spots between the tendrils. And guys, remember, when you're doing your grayscale, don't forget about your blending. If you were coloring this like line art, you should be blending your colors together, right? And sometimes what I'll do when I'm blending, rather than just going up and down like this, I'll go side to side. And now let's go ahead and get that little fuzz, that silk, on our corn. Glass gem corn. Oh, I gotta keep that in mind. Okay, what color do I need to add next on my silk? Somebody tell me real quick what the second color was I used while I get some water. The gold. Thank you, Linda. So I'm just using little spots on there. Give that a little extra oomph. What a difference. Zoom out. Okay, so our corn is looking pretty streaky, and I know corn is streaky, but I don't really, that's too harsh. My dark color is too harsh. It looks like there's just one line down the center there. So I'm going to use my dark pencil on either side of it to blunt that line. And then I'll go ahead and use my medium color to soften it. And again, if you have to change the coloring scheme up just a little bit because you think it looks wonky, do it. So now I'm playing with a little shading with my dark in between. Yes, I can soften it. I sure can. Is that better? Let me know. Zoom out. Zoom out. Guys, look how gorgeous that looks. Questions, comments, concerns? I'll turn it down another notch, Angela. Angela, check the volume on your computer or whatever you're listening. Maybe turn it down there. Zoom in. Let me know, Angela. Like I said, I have no ego in this game, and if something's bothering you guys, let me know. Okay, I've turned it down on this end, Angela, so get your volume set to where you can hear me comfortably, and let me know if that music is still bothering you. Zoom in. Okay, so of course, Angela, and we'll keep going back and forth on it until you're comfortable. Guys, I don't want anybody feeling uncomfortable asking something like that. It's okay, so I'm doing all my light areas. Remember, turn your pencil. And then here's my slightly darker. Now, if this were line art, this is exactly what I would be doing, is I would be outlining this stalk to make it look more rounded, right? So there's my dark, my light, my dark, and now I'm going to pop in with medium. And guys, don't jam your pencil into the paper. Go very, very lightly. So Angela says, do you ever hear the butcher bird? We have one in a tree here. Their voice is incredibly beautiful, but they steal each other's babies and hang them in their tree, hence the name. Ooh. No, haven't heard of that, huh? I think what happens in grayscale... Hey, Wanda. Hello, hello. I think what happens in grayscale is that people think that they need to jam the color onto the page in order to get the gray to disappear, and that's not what you want. You want to work in conjunction with the gray to make your piece look pretty cool. Yeah, other birds' babies. Uh-huh. Now, I want you to notice where I had a dark part on the line here is I'm taking my dark pencil and I'm going to go ahead and enhance that and bring it in a little bit. Even though it's not called for by the artist. So after I get my colors in, this is where I start tweaking them a little bit to get them where I want them to be. Yeah, you are home early tonight. What gives? Everything okay, sweetie? Zoom out. Zoom out. Okay. Not too shabby. Slow night tonight, so your boss sent some of you home an hour early. Okay. All right, we'll kick off your shoes and feel that nice cold floor underneath your feet. Kick back, relax. All right, I love how this green is starting to fill in this background. and how cool that's looking. Zoom in. Let's see, I've got a shadow from something. Here we go. Zoom in. Okay, so let's start here. Following Wanda's format that she uses, my lights first. Not too many on this piece. Yeah, Wanda, I think I was doing that a while back where I was doing my lights and my darks and then my mediums, and for some reason I got off of that. Okay. And my darks. And again, I'm not just drawing a solid line here, I'm coloring it. Angela said this is my third try on this page. It's getting better. Excellent. And again, guys, don't drive your pencil into the page. You're tinting. And if you're coloring and you discover that you missed a couple of areas of your light, light area, go back, fill it in. We have a lot of people that think that once they color a certain color, that's it. They should, go on to their next, and then their next, and their next, and that's not it at all. When you color, you should be going back and forth between your pencils. Okay, now I'm going in with my medium. Everybody see how this is starting to blend beautifully? And guys, I don't mind what Angela is doing where she said that it's her third attempt on this page. If you're experimenting and experimenting and experimenting, that's fine. That is totally different from my comments about telling you to not throw stuff away. That's a whole different can of worms. And if you have the ability to copy a page and experiment with it, that's fine. But what I don't like to hear is when people say that they've been coloring and they, you know, spill something, or they think that something looks really bad on it and they get disgusted with it and throw it out. No. You do not progress as an artist if you get so flustered that you throw it out. The art, when you've got your artist mode working, that's when you can start fixing stuff. Okay. Looking a little streaky here with my light color. So I'm going to calm that down. And also notice I'm using my light coloring and just going over everything. You can do that as well. That's just like I'd be using my white pencil and doing that. You can do that. After a while, it'll become second nature to you. As to what you need to do to adjust your piece. And Angela made an excellent point. She says, good to keep and compare, encouraging to see you've improved some. Exactly. Heck yes. All right. So let's go ahead and get a little bit of our corn silk done here. Sharp pencil. Getting my yellow here. And then we're going to pop a little gold on that. Oh, how pretty. And for that matter, Angela, I always put my initials and the date. I don't put the pencils that I use, but yeah. Now this piece is going to be a lot of fun because you can really see the darks and the mediums and the lights. Let me pull out though and show you where we are. Zoom out. Zoom out. Zoom out. So what do you think so far? Okay. Let me grab some water here. And again, I don't want you to, you know, when I say what do you think, it's not what do you think of my work, what do you think of the coloring and doing the coloring. Linda, I put mine in a notebook in protected sheets. I've got a huge binder, and if my pieces are really big, I've gone to Hobby Lobby and gotten one of those scrapbook things that you can buy additional pages for, and I put my super large pieces in that. One of these days I may flip through all my stuff so you guys can see it. That's right. Angela says she keeps the loose pages in plastic pockets. Right. Make sure that they're archival safe, Angela. Okay, I gotta figure out what's casting the shadow here. Zoom in. All right. So this corn piece is going to be a really cool one to show you, because you can see distinct light, mediums, and darks on this. So let me sharpen my pencils. Rhonda said she got that 12 package of polychromos, and I must say I'm obsessed. I absolutely love them. Different from any other pencil. For me, I wish they were not so expensive. Yeah, exactly. Binders from the supermarket. But just make sure that the sleeves that you get are archival safe. Sandy, refresh my memory. Have you colored grayscale before? Okay. Now on this piece, there's a lot of medium areas. Okay, Sandy said just once but didn't do it right. Okay, so I'm hoping this is helping you. All right, now again, you've got to look at your light, mediums, and darks, relatively speaking. So this part right here is the darkest of all the three. That's what we mean by that. Zoom in. You've got to look at the box and see if it says archival safe. And again, guys, don't push your pencil into the paper thinking that you have to color harder to compensate for the gray. No, 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 no. The gray, look, the gray and grayscale gives you what's called an underpainting, and the gray on there influences the color that you're putting on there. The goal is not to wipe it out. Okay, Angela, you might want to try and check that to see if yours are archival safe. Now, if you're coloring something and you are not sure on what's what, you don't have to finish, for example, all of your light stuff. If it helps you, so now I'm going to pop over to my darks. And that'll start giving me visual direction on what I need to do. And then I can go back to my light if I need to. And I may even notice that I missed a couple spots. And I want to show you something here. I'm hoping you can see it. Zoom in. Zoom in. Okay, right here next to this line, see I've done my light. You can see a darker shade right here and then a little bit lighter to the side. Everybody see that? So that's where I'm going to take my dark pencil very lightly and color in that darker portion. And I'm barely pressing. Just butterfly kiss it, guys. And also notice here where I've got a little bit of dark right here. And then when you're doing something like this, all of a sudden you're going to notice that all those other pieces, because right now the only thing that's left are my mediums. And I'll come back with my medium now. Zoom out. And the other thing that I want you to do is either go to Google and Google corn stalks. And or next time you're in the store, I want you to look at corn stalks and I want you to see all the colors that are in there. Does everybody see now how I'm just coloring in my medium spots? And I'm also a little bit coloring over where I colored my light, because that's starting to blend in my colors. So again, the only part that's left here in the gray are my medium colors. And there are some times that you want to go over your previous colors, because right now I'm going over my light colors with my medium. Okay, Wanda, see you in a little bit. Now I see a little place here that I missed. So here's my dark green. And then I'll go ahead and hit that with my medium. It may be another stalk of corn behind the one we're doing right now. Zoom out and let me brush this. Zoom out. Okay, now that's looking pretty streaky, isn't it? So now what I need to do, I'm taking my medium color and now I'm working on smoothing out my colors. And this is where you might want to take a little bit of white and I'm coloring over the intersection between the darker spots, the darker areas, and my medium color. So what that white is doing now is that is blending all my colors together better. But don't overuse your white, okay? Much better. Oh, I love it. Zoom out. All right, let me make sure that there's no obnoxious shine on this. There you go. All right. So I need to go back and do a little bit of catch up on one thing. Then I'll work on the bird, the second bird. Zoom in. I've got a little color, a little corner of his vest that I missed. So we'll go ahead and get that fixed. There we go. Much better. All right, zoom out. It's coming. Let me play with the hay a little bit. Zoom in. Zoom in. So unlike what I did with the corn, I'm going to put my gold in here as the main color. Now I'll go back with my outline color in a minute. And again, what I want you to notice about this is the grayscale is simply telling you where you would, if this were line art, putting your darker color. That's it. So how many of you now are less concerned about grayscale than you were before? Now, one thing I want you to notice here is we've got a shadow on the face. So I'm going to go ahead and just kiss the paper with my gold on that shadow. And Sandy says I love it now that I know how to do it. Wanda says, me. And Angela says, I'm happier with it now. I see the benefit of it. Guys, grayscale, oh my gosh, it's going to make your line art so much better. It will. Have any of you guys seen that Progressive commercial where everybody's at the beach and everybody said nobody, talk about insurance because it's our day and we're chilling and the whole bit? And Flo starts hearing people talking about wishing there was a company that they could bundle their insurance, and she goes absolutely nuts. Dorothy says she's on her second picture, I'm assuming grayscale, enjoying coloring. Good. And Flo can't stand it anymore and she runs over to help. This is what happens with me when I hear people talking about grayscale and how they're afraid of it or they hate it or, whatever the case may be. Oh my gosh, guys, if you master grayscale, you'll master line art coloring. It's not hard. Okay, see that little shadow right there? Zoom in. So I'm just going to stroke that shadow a couple times with the gold that I'm using, just to highlight that shadow. Oh. Now, this gold that I'm using right now is a Zenicolor, and it tends to shed. This is another reason why I like my brush. I get little crumblies. That's fine, it happens. I don't fuss over it. Angela says, I still don't like the really dark grayscale you see, sometimes almost black. Wanda. Okay, Angela, in some grayscale, I've got to do a picture that's got black on it. In some grayscale, those black portions become part of the coloring. Wanda, help me out here. Oh, look at that straw. Isn't that cute? I really need to do a grayscale that's got a boatload of black on it so you guys can see that as well. Okay. You see what Wanda says? The black actually takes the color well. Yes, it does. You wouldn't think it does, but it does. Or you can just use it as a black area. That's right. Wanda, I don't think I told you, but that sale that Life Escapes was having, a couple days before that ended, I went back and bought a couple of more books. I think I bought like 20. Okay, Miss Linda says, I need to find my grayscale books. I've had a lot of health issues for the past year and a half. Plus, I'm wheelchair bound, so I can't get down to my basement to find all my coloring stuff. Miss Linda, can you get someone to help you do that? Zoom out. Zoom out. Okay, Angela says, some Coloring Heaven magazine pages have been very dark grayscale. I'd like to see you do some of the very dark grayscale. Okay. Yep, I can do that. I won't do it next though, because I don't want people to think I do nothing but grayscale. Yeah, on the grayscale, it makes the darker pop. Exactly. Like when you add black to your line art. Okay, the hay. So I've got my gold, and I think I'm going to shoot some brown at it. Wanda said she bought 8 PDF books from them during the sale. I probably bought 16 to 20. Okay. Zoom in. Linda says, while I was in rehab, my hubby put everything in its place, so now he can't find it. Well, just smack that boy and have him get your stuff out. And Angela, I absolutely encourage people that are having health issues to come in. Sit and watch and laugh with us and enjoy. Watch us color pretty things. Yeah, and Rhonda says, what about Emma Louise's picture from Selena Fenish Fantasy Grayscale book? Yeah, the one with the girl that's in the alley with the black dress. Beautiful and looks almost black and gray. Yep. Yep, yep, yep. Zoom in. Linda says that's what I do from Michigan, that you watch us and enjoy the group, Linda. I'm delighted to have you here. Okay, everybody see that I'm taking the brown now? And outlining. Linda, I am delighted to have you here. I really am. I hope that we can bring you some pleasure and fun and relaxation. So Angela says, so sorry, Linda. While I suffer a lot of pain, I can still walk. It's humbling to remember that there are people with greater disabilities than our own. Yes. I hope someone can carry you down or fetch your books up. Blessings to you. Absolutely. Absolutely. Linda, please have your husband go get your books for you. Will you do that? Okay, everybody see how I'm using the darker brown now next to the gold? So yes, I will do a grayscale that's got black in it. Linda, if I can make you laugh while you're sitting there, I've done my job. Okay. And guys, I know this is going to sound wonky, but if you're living alone and you need company, when you go to bed at night, plug your smartphone in and go to one of my broadcasts and play it in the background as you fall asleep. Whatever works for you. I know people that do that, actually. People tell me I have a very soothing voice. Zoom out. So Linda's saying, unfortunately, I have Addison's disease, among other things, and have to take steroids 3 times a day. I'm very obese and can't get the weight off. Ronnie, hello. Well, Linda, I'm so glad to have you here. Zoom out. Ronnie Bobani. Guys, look at the hay. What do you think? Doesn't that look cool? Put some gold on there, put some brown around it. I did my shadow on the gold on the face. Ronnie is out of the hospital. Zoom in. Well, Linda, I'm glad. We'd love to have you here. Linda, who else would I have a name to pronounce Hirschenroder? Ashley says, my daughter said it's time to sing Goodnight, Pearl. Okay, everybody see how that hay is looking pretty cool. Hey, hey, hey. So Angela says, get well real soon, Ronnie. Keep picking up your pencils. That's exactly right. Ronnie, you have got to come in and enjoy spending time with us. It'll help you get your mind off things. Okay, so notice I'm coloring a little darker area underneath the hat. See how I'm shading that? Where it's coming out from underneath. And you see how I'm darkening this area here where the author has put in the shadow. Ronnie said she had a doctor's appointment, long day. Oh, yeah. Zoom out. Zoom out. Isn't that cool? Now remember, that face is nothing now. I haven't colored it. I just put my base color down. That's it. And I will be playing with that. And the other thing too, and this is where my tweaking comes in, because I love to tweak after the fact, is I'll be playing with the hat and softening that as well. Thank you, Ronnie. You guys have heard me say that my most favorite part is the tweaking part. But I'm not there yet because I'm coloring in, of course. And you guys need to be thinking about what color you want me to make the eyes. I love those eyes. All right, let's play with the cardinal. How's that? Do do do. So Ronnie says, now that I have everything straight with my printer, I really need to try grayscale, especially since I have all those books. Okay. Ronnie says the corn looks so real. Thank you. All right, let's color a cardinal. Zoom in. Zoom in. zoom in. Aha. That's right, the eyes are dark grayscale. There you go, I'll be able to do dark grayscale. Woohoo! All right. Hold on, guys, I gotta make a little adjustment. You guys would laugh. Sometimes when I'm coloring, I just like knock things over. Oh no! And I just keep coloring, you guys never know. Yes, ma'am, I did change the paper on my desk. Thank you. Isn't that beautiful? Zoom out. I was hoping you guys liked it. I've got lots of neat patterns now. Go to Amazon and buy inexpensive paper, wrapping paper, and tape a segment on your desk. I thought you'd like it instead of that craft paper that I was using. Zoom in. See, now it works. That's right, you're no longer looking at a plain brown paper. I asked you guys how you liked it a while back, and like nobody said anything, so I thought, well, okay. Okay, cardinal. Hey, do I cheer you guys up or do I cheer you guys up? First of all, you never know what I'm going to show you. You never know what I'm going to do. And you never know what I'm going to say. So the amusement factor should be enough that you should enjoy that. Wanda, that doesn't matter. Put down some pretty wrapping paper. I don't know, I just got to make sure that you guys are laughing with me and not at me. Oh. And then there's just days that sometimes I'm just a dork. I am a dork. All right, zoom in. Let's get this cardinal taken care of. I'm going to use a black pen. And that's because I want my black to be very black. Okay, well, if you're happy with your glass, that's fine. And I'm going to go ahead and very carefully darken the eye. Ooh, I did it without wiping out the white. Rhonda Green says, hey ILene, I'm out of bed and coloring now. Yay! Just couldn't stand it, could you? I missed a portion of the hat here. Okay, well. Angela, how's the music level? I don't know if our newcomers know. Blah, 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 blah. Ronnie says, ILene, do the newcomers know our theme song? Anybody that's new, theme song, We Are Family. When I have people answer questions for the group, I tell them that they need to go into announcements and check it frequently. And if they check it, they'll know what our theme song is. Guys, you've got to check announcements because I pop stuff in there all the time. Reference material. So it goes into the group and then it stays in announcements. Okay. Doesn't that look cool? No, Angela, you didn't sound like a grump. Angela, I do not accept apologies in this group. If something's happening that somebody's uncomfortable, you've got to speak up. Quit apologizing for yourself. So when you say better, does that mean that it doesn't bother you anymore? Ronnie says, ILene, how's Vicky and the cat? Vicky's fine, my dog, and the cats, plural, 3 of them, are fine. Okay, so now I've got the black on my grayscale with my pen because I want that to be super, super dark. And like I said, I got the eye done and I didn't accidentally wipe out the black. Angela, listen to me. If I'm ever playing music in the future, you've got to just tell me that it's bothering you. So in other words, I don't want you to stop saying anything because you said something about it once. Capiche? I know that some people might be embarrassed about having to say it more than once. So you've got to tell me anytime it bothers you. Marianne says, I love cardinals. We have a cardinal nest in our yard. How cool is that? Okay, you guys are going to have to sit tight a minute because I'm picking out my dark, medium, and light red for the cardinal. Okay, Angela, I understand that you don't want to change things for other people, but that's, we'll figure out a compromise. Yeah, and Wanda didn't like the creaking boat, and she was a little more indirect than I would have preferred. So if Wanda had said, ILene, those creaking boats are really bugging me. Oh, Angela says, wish we had cardinals in Australia. Oh, Linda says, I can serenade you. It's not. Not. I don't know. Linda, you better be careful. I might invite you on camera. Okay, hang with me, guys, while I get these colors figured out. Da, 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 Ooh, that's a gorgeous color. Prismacolor too. All right, we got that and that. Okay, I've got my dark and my medium. Hold on, we're getting my light. There we go, we can do that one. Okay. Grayscale. As always, pick out your dark, your medium, and your light. Sharpen your pencils. Wanda, do you still like your Linkyo? I ask Wanda that every once in a while. And then she knows the very next thing I'm going to tell her is to be sure to sharpen graphite pencils in them. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. So I'm going to put in my light red. See, you guys got to be careful. You're winding me up. And that's not fair because we only have 20 minutes left. Ronnie says, I love my Linkyo. Thanks for the reminder. I forgot about that. Yeah, Ronnie, don't forget. You've got to use your graphite in there. It's important. So I've got my lightest red in here. And again, as Angela says, ILene, do you have someone there to make you a cuppa or something? No, it's just me, myself, and I. And Vicky, my dog. And Gazelle, Miss Kitty, and Domino. But actually, the only thing that I drink really is water. I drink copious amounts of water, and I always have water with me. Rhonda said, I finally bought a set of 20 so I didn't have to keep asking the staff up front if they had any pencils. Yeah, Rhonda, go to Amazon warehouse. That's where I got my set. Oriental Trading would probably be another great place to ask. Oh yeah, I can elaborate on my pets. What do you want to know? Vicky's my dog. She's a Heinz 57. I have no idea what she is. She's like 13 years old now. Domino, my cat, all black cat with white 2 squares on her belly. That's how she got the name Domino. Miss Kitty was because I couldn't think of any name, so I call her Miss Kitty. I say Miss Kitty. So she knows her name really well. And Gazelle, she's my oldest cat. She's been with me for a long time. And I used to have 3 other cats, Annie, Bama, and Lucy. They've all passed away. Wonderful, wonderful cats. But yeah, it's just me, myself, and I. Okay, so let me pull you out just enough so you can see everything. There we go. That's better. Now, when Vicky passes, I'll get another dog because I always want to have another dog, but I won't get any more cats only because of my age, and cats live to be quite a long time. Okay, so there's my light red. Now, I'm going to go in with my dark red. This cardinal is going to be absolutely gorgeous. Oh, and Rhonda says, and all of us who love you. Yeah, thank you. I don't dare miss an evening of broadcasting. You guys would probably send out the army to try to see what's going on. I even had, Dawn was even gracious enough to cover for me one time when I wasn't going to be here. Angela said, love cats, always had one from childhood. I remember being sad one time about 9 years old with tears on my face. Oh, this is going to be a sad story, isn't it? Hold on. Let me see what's... Hold on. My cat licked my face and bumped his head and my chin to say, hey, I love you. Oh my gosh, yes. Marianne says she likes the Suddy style pencils. Oh, if I'm not feeling well, my cats just glom on me like crazy. They know. Okay, everybody see this red, which is my dark? Sharp pencils. We had 3 cats on the farm, now we have none because when we travel, we can't take them with us. Yeah. Well, for those of you that are newer, I was telling the story of Vicky, who always hangs out with me when I'm broadcasting. And whenever I'm done broadcasting, I stuff my face with something. You know, like I've got iced oatmeal cookies or something like that. So she'd always come up and then stick her nose on my leg and start bumping it. All right, see the dark there? And now I'm going to use my medium color. So let me go back up. So she always starts bumping me because she knows I get treats out. Well, I started noticing that she'd wait until I was finishing my broadcast, and I initially thought it was because she would know the time, which was basically 10 o'clock my time. Well, every once in a while I end up going longer than that, and I noticed that if you hear a bell ringing, it's just Vicky. I noticed that she wasn't coming up to me until I had finished my broadcast, which was later, because sometimes when I'm really on a roll, I'll go like a half hour longer than what I normally do. Well, come to realize, she listens for me to use my sign off. And as soon as she hears that sign off, boom, she's right by me. I just thought that was hysterical. Those buggers are smart, I'll tell you. Okay, a little dark here. Oh, wait a minute. Yep, that's bird. I missed a little portion of the hat. Anybody have any question what I'm doing so far? I'm on my medium color now, which is my fill-in color. I asked Wanda one night how many layers she uses. She says anywhere from 5 to 8. Okay, everybody see how this is getting some beautiful shades now? Of the red. And I'm coloring very, very lightly. And I've got to grab my light because I have a couple of areas here that I missed. And it looks like I also missed a little bit of my corn. Everybody see that? That little spot underneath the rear end of my bird. Now, I'll pull out in a second so you can see how the overall is looking, but I just want you to see now how I'm filling in these areas. Now, because of the grayscale, Got a little bit of a dark area here. Let me add that. How appropriate. I've got birds in the background. So I'm very gently filling in these colors. And again, if this were line art, this is what you should be doing on your line art, is using different shades of red on the body of your cardinal. Zoom out. Zoom out. What do you think? Not bad for not being blended. Now, some of you, oh yeah, and so I missed talking about pets. She says I have a donkey. She's an ass called Jack. He's my rescue, lots of rescue dogs. Well, I got Jack as my friend. Okay, so I'm going back and I'm using my lighter red to start filling in my popcorn. Now, some of you may say, well, how do I know where to put the red? If this were line art, how do I know where to put the red? Well, and particularly the shading. What you need to realize is if you look at a cardinal, the color is not necessarily a solid red. It's shades of red. So what I would do is I would put some passes of red along the side in various spots, and then I would come back with my second red and go next to those areas. Does that make sense? Zoom in. Okay, I'll go back to that, Ronnie. I've got an area behind the rear end here. You said below the sun, yeah, below the sunflower on the left. Okay. So if you're coloring, for example, a cardinal or any bird, I don't want you freaking out because you don't know where to put your colors. So again, with the cardinal, you put some patches of red on some of the areas, and then you come back with your next shade of red and continuing coloring around those areas. Have I done his beak yet? No. The cardinal's beak or the scarecrow nose? No, I haven't done the beak and I haven't done the nose yet. So wherever you see your popcorn speckles, that's where you need to fill in with your pencils. Now I'm going to grab my darkest color. There we go, what Wanda just said. You could use pink over some of the light areas on the cardinal to add more highlights. Exactly. So before I do that, I'm grabbing my darker pencil on this wing. If you look carefully on your monitor, you can see the top of the wing is right here. So what I'm doing right now is I'm highlighting that wing with my darker shade. And Wanda is suggesting a pink. So Anne says, Lord, I got a new phone, had a rough time figuring out what I see. They are trying to teach this old dog new tricks I'm learning. It just takes a while. So what I'm doing is I'm taking the pink and I'm curving it over the top of the wing. Do you see it? And coming down where it narrows. Guys, this is where your layering comes in. And then I'm going to very, very lightly take a little bit of white. And oh my gosh, I'm just barely touching this, guys. And listen, I want to say something from what Anne said about getting a new phone and figuring out how to do this stuff. Guys, you're not too old to learn this stuff. Now by putting this white on top, it also makes this area look pinkish. And do you see how that wing now is starting to, there, look what Anne says, you can see the wing effects of the pink. Yep, 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 yep. And I'm going to take a little bit of a dark gray. Sit tight with me, guys. And I'm going to shade in the tip of the wings on the back. Do you see that? And if you want to, you can even take it up a little further, just to do a little bit of outlining. on that wing. Everybody see how I did that? And then I'm going to take a little bit of white on his underbelly. And I'm just going to lighten that a little bit. And see, by putting that white on there, that actually makes it a little more pinkish. And guys, this is just a matter of playing with your colors a little bit. It's nothing complex. And you know that when I'm doing this stuff, I tell you exactly why I'm doing it while I'm doing it. And you see how that wing now is showing up better. So let me go ahead and lighten up some of these areas on the tail. I could do it with the pink. I'm doing it with a little bit of white. And then you just play with it to the point that you get it to be where you want it to be. Does anybody have any questions about this at all? And let me do the beak and then I'll call it an evening. And if you screw it up and put too much white on there, then just drop a little more red. Zoom out. Zoom out. There you go. Looking pretty darn good at normal view, isn't he? The thing that used to intimidate me about coloring is, you know, how does the artist know where to put the white, where to put the darker color, you know, yada, yada, yada. And that is exactly why I take the time to show you exactly why I'm doing something. I'm using my darkest red right now just to give that outline a little more oomph. There we go. So somebody may say, well, how do you know to put the white on the head there? Well, you know, you just gotta try it. Put a little U there to make that a texture. And if you don't have enough white on the belly to distinguish, put a little more on there. And like I said, if you put too much, put your red back. Oh, Lori, you're welcome. Lori says, I'm going to go back on my image of this and go over my cardinal like that. Yeah. And look at a picture on Google. You know, I put little splotches of my lighter color on here, which really are coming out pink because I'm using white. I like it. Okay, I'll do the beak and then I'm out of here. Zoom in. All right. Not one of you watching this broadcast should be intimidated by the coloring of this bird. And Lori, would you do me a favor when you type my name, just capital I, capital L, and then E-N-E, and I'll see that better. Okay, beak. Zoom in. Poor Anne has been waiting for the beak. ILene, shut up and show me the beak. Okay. So I'm going to put some yellow on here in my white areas. Now I'm going to go a little bit differently in the hello Kaz. Kaz, where have you been? Good grief, people. Okay. So this is my light color. All right, instead of doing my dark and then my light and then my medium, that's what I've been doing all night. Excuse me. I'm going to do my medium color next, which is my gold. So now I've got this gold that I'm also putting over my yellow, because we're going to tone down that yellow just a little bit. I wanted the yellow underneath, so I had that oomph from it. Does everybody understand that thought process? So instead of just putting gold on here, I put my yellow down, and then I'm putting my gold on top. So it's not yellow, it's not gold, it's the in-between color. This must be my Zena color. Yeah, it's my Zena color. Oh, Kaz, I'm sorry you have been unwell, but Kaz, can't you at least put the program on while I'm live and just watch? Kaz, what's going on? Okay, so I've got my gold. Zena color, it's a brand, Angela, a pencil brand. Da, 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 da. It's a bright yellow, actually. It's a Fila Yellow 014. Oh, and the gold, I'm sorry, the gold is called Goldenrod by Zena Color. It's just a regular gold. And now I'm going to take my brown. And I'm going over my yellow and my gold with this. Because I wanted to take on a brownish gold hue. And I'm getting some wax buildup on here. Yep, here comes the magic with the brown look and how that changes. I'm going to go back with my gold because my brown is spotting up a little bit. Wax buildup. Sometimes brands don't play well together. Sometimes it may be because of wax buildup. And my yellow's getting a little washed out, so I'm going to go back and just pop in a little more yellow on my lighter spots. There we go. Zoom out. Had a little buildup there that I wanted to get rid of. Zoom out. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Now, what I want you to realize when you put your colors down, so I put my yellow down first, and then I pop my gold on it because I wanted to tone down the yellow a little bit, and then I put my brown on top. When you put colors down, they may look like you are coloring them away when you put subsequent layers on, but you're not. They are affecting each other, and I want you to keep that in mind. Now, I could have made that beak a little brighter if I wanted to, but I chose to dull it down a little bit with the brown, just because I wanted that. I wanted it a little duller than my sunflowers. I didn't want it competing with it. Zoom in. So Rhonda says, ILene, I'm really starting to enjoy the challenge of the different brands on the different papers. Yep. Zoom in. Okay, now, sometimes when I get that little speckly effect, because that's wax buildup, I will take the other end of a pencil and I will very gently see if I can scrape that off. And in this case, it came off. There you go. Much better. So see, I fixed that. And as I'm looking at my monitor here, I'm seeing a spot between the red and the black, so I'm going to fix that as well. And if you want to play with that black a little bit too, watch this. Oh, much better. See how I made that little triangle on top? Oh, I like that a lot better. Much better. No, the black pen is a standard Pilot G2 pen. Now, I haven't colored around the eye yet. I'll do that another night. I'm just not in the mood to do it. I could have used a Sharpie pen on there. Zoom out. And then the other thing I'm going to do, watch this. Zoom in. Make up your mind, ILene. Zoom out, zoom in. Okay, now look. I'm going to take my pen and I'm going to make the outside here more feathery. Oh, and that looks much better too. There you go. See? Much better. Zoom out. Zoom out. Zoom out. There you go. All right, guys, I'm going to call it an evening. Thank you for hanging with me. I hope you had as much fun watching this as I have doing this for you. So there's our picture. We don't have too much more to go. I'll color in those areas that I missed with the corn. And then we'll go from there. Kaz, even when you're not feeling well, please just put the broadcast on and watch, okay? Good night. Love you guys. Okay, guys, this is ILene Vick for Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. Guys, joyous, joyous coloring. Love you all. Be kind to each other. I know you are. I hope you learned something. I had a ball with this. Be kind to each other, guys. See you tomorrow night, same time, same place. Bye. And Angela's going to get some lunch. That's right. Love those Aussies. Good night.